war criminal. Yeah, Powell.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the other side. You say it should still say "got it," but I wanted to change sides.
There's some of these I do not have, some of these I do have, and you know, so it's very, very happy with this. Thank you very much. Yeah, and the Sinister, what was that? The
Sinister House of Secret Love.
Yes, that was down there, Ghosts, and that is a lot of fun. I haven't looked through RDV's box.
Well, I heard he put onions in there so you go away from it.
Yeah, he did. He did. It was
like garlic.
Yeah. Just to keep it all even. Actually, I did mention that. I said, do I even want to look in his box and see what's going on? Whoops, that went too far back.
God, I wish there was a. Yeah, if you didn't live so far away, I'd say bring the boxes back because I want to use those out in the garage. But
yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, that was a bit of a drive to return boxes.
Yeah.
Good night, Jackson Roy Kirk.
Have a good one, man. Take care.
Good night, Jackson.
Yeah, I'm out in about 20 minutes, so I could go see the Deadpool movie.
Are you going to see it tonight?
Yep.
Nice.
Got a midnight ticket.
Going Saturday morning.
I thought, you know what would be? Do you know what would be really good? Let me drive for 5 hours, and actually ended up being 6, and then come home and I'll rush right out to the movies.
You're getting your body ready to sit there and not fall asleep.
No, knowing, I'm assuming you didn't get wished in any cornfields on the way back. How long did it take you to get back?
Probably actually a little less than the 2.5 hours that it said. I probably got here in about 2, maybe.
That's good.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that happens. It always takes you longer to get there than come back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that is. Hey, what's up? Oh, yeah, by the way, everybody who's jumping in from I Love Comics, this is the Geeky Puppet Show. Please subscribe. And,
or just come over and watch our channel.
Yeah, or come over and watch the channel. Yeah, ditch I Love Comics. Come on over and watch the channel on Geeky Puppet Show. Leave the link. Put the link in.
But I do have to give you credit for one thing. Once you got into the area, you found my house on the first try. I've had fucking pizza delivery that couldn't find my house. I can't
put the link into my thing. It only goes to my stream, YouTube stuff. That's what I'm streaming to.
Is there a let me see.
Literally, you could go through
Okay, hold on. I can put the link in.
Yeah.
It's no problem. And I love deeper and I. Okay.
Yeah, so I what you're doing is if you're a guest, if you own your own channel, you can join that way and comment there. I can't do it with the Geeky Puppet Show because I'm a manager. I'm not the channel owner, so I can't.
Oh, okay.
Go in, if I want to stream, it'd be under my comic book frog thing.
Nice.
Yeah. That's actually why I'm doing so. Say, hey, come on over to Geeky Puppet Show and
link for the lazy in disguise. How do you not know what the Geeky Puppet Show URL is? It's just Geeky Puppet Show. It's one freaking word, bro.
Jack Russell.
We make it easy for you. All right. What we call the Geeky Puppet Show? That's our URL.
Hulk. What is
this? I had to yell at Rob because Rob is like, why don't you have Extreme Movie Show as the freaking URL for your YouTube channel? It was Rob Media Productions. I was like, dude, no wonder people can't find it. It's if we finally changed it over, I was like, oh man. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of views over there. We're almost at 1,000 watch time. Just need 2,000 more hours to go over watch time to be monetized.
You need 4,000. You need 4,000 watch time minutes, and 1,000 subs.
I was looking at it. It's actually the 3,000.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Because you got grandfather then. I guess.
Oh, really? That channel's old enough. Okay.
Yeah. Because I was looking, I was like, wait. It's like it's only at 1,000, and it says you need 3,000. Because I think even mine says that.
I have. What do I have? I've got book 1 and 2. Oh, hey, okay.
Mine says you need 3,000 watch
3 and 4.
hours. Like for mine.
That just completed Captain America.
This channel
Very
here,
nice.
we need 3,000 watch time, which I'm already 3,000 hours, but I also need 1,000 subs. He's the same way, so I don't know when they changed it. What is a geeky puppet?
It's the worst kind of puppet. Actually, you know what? I haven't seen a geeky puppet in forever.
I know. Have y'all done the geeky?
Well, if you watch the Moon
Nope.
Knight issue 13, we had a puppet came out. You were actually on the channel in that video. So it was Trusty. It was Daredevil versus.
That was so long ago, though, dude. That was like last year, it feels like.
That's like 2 years ago.
This whole channel is false advertising. We keep saying it's the Geeky Puppet Show, and there's no puppets.
You
There's
took away the
puppets out there.
puppets.
The only
You
puppets
know
are
how
the
it is
humans.
to run a comp or just run the stream, also run the book, also hold my hand up with a freaking puppet. It gets.
Don't want your excuses.
So I'll
All
say this:
results.
if I'm running it, you know who should be Pixel? Should have his puppet out. He doesn't put.
Yeah, but Pixel's not. Pixel doesn't do the comic book stuff.
He does.
Save that. That's Governor of Puppets.
Oh, excuse me.
Right.
Governor of Puppets, Dave.
Ghost Rider 1 and 2, Marvel Spotlight 12 to 24, Son of
8.
Satan 1 through 8, Marvel 2 and 114, Marvel Team Up 32, 80 through 81, Marvel Tales, Vampire
Okay.
Tales 2 and 3.
I was wondering how I bumped up to 17 views. I was like, then I realized it's conjoined.
They censor our language here, Dave. There are words they won't let us say.
Actually, that is kind of true. YouTube will dox your channel if
Not
you
for
say
saying master.
so. Master, no.
Gary, you
yeah.
lied again.
But they will for certain words. Yeah, they'll hit you.
For
They
certain
will.
words, yeah, but master is not a slur last time I checked. Hey, what's up, one skip dude? I mean, one
These are
slick
awesome.
dude. Ooh. That's
But
cool.
I like the Super Friends. That is awesome too.
Bring back the other one.
There you go.
treats.
Yeah. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like the digest size things.
I need one digest from the 2 major series. One of the funny animals, and I can't find it even on eBay.
Wow.
And I think I
Zuko?
need one of it's not a Captain Carrot, but it's like from their. They used to have funny animal books in the 50s. It reprints stuff from those.
Gotcha.
And I think I need one of the Jonah Hexes still.
What's up, one slick?
I have no idea what this is.
Those are
I
actually,
know about. I've seen this one.
those are fun. It's Adam
Okay,
Warren, who's pretty well known for doing that kind of stuff. The girl's in a super team. She's pretty useless, and her obviously she's got the banging body, and her costume always gets ripped, and that's her power source is the costume.
Now it's a power girl.
Yeah, this is very much a.
But it's
not X-rated. It's
no.
Well, check the pages.
It's
stuck together?
cheesecake for all. It's all ages cheesecake. If
That's
that
the
makes
best
any
kind.
sense.
That's the best kind of cheesecake.
Yep.
No, the best cheesecake is the one you get for free.
There you go.
This is the only cheesecake I like.
Common America cheesecake is the best cheesecake.
It's just a little bit of a argument with everybody I mentioned. I don't like cheesecake.
Hey, Dalton.
Not. Yeah. What's up, Dalton?
Dalton,
I
Dalton
thought we
says
were
he
doing
thought we were doing Doctor Strange covers.
I did not know where it was today his birthday. I thought he was busy today.
I can't remember.
That's what I heard. That's why I didn't mention. Plus, I went out all the way over. We could do Doctor Strange tomorrow for your birthday. I am okay with that. But I actually heard that you were busy, and also and this is the main reason. I drove 6 hours today to and from Eric's house, and I was just tired. And I jumped on their stream because I have no responsibility. And I'm about to leave in about 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, but absolutely, they are on the dock, and we can do them mañana.
Oh, speaking of Power Girl, I read the new issue Power Girl where she goes on a date.
Happy birthday, Dalton.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
happy 50th birthday.
I'm sure it's not that old.
Happy.
Do you think Dalton was ever young? Honestly, I think he was young once upon a time in the 1700s, and whatever vampire turned him.
I don't think he has an age. I think he's like a cosmic being.
Yeah, he's like Shade from Starman. He's Dalton. Dalton is eternal. That is something I think a long time ago.
The eternal Mortimer.
Yeah.
He's an eternal? Oh no. As long as he's not an inhuman.
I like that. The eternal Mortimer. There are some books I got to say I would not think this was an Eric book.
I didn't know Eric had manga until 10 minutes ago.
So I heard this was good, but it is Brian Michael Bendis. So
yeah,
it could be worse.
Yeah, the one short box had some stuff that that I over the years, I mean, I didn't work at a comic shop, but I was good friends with everybody there. And like I said, one of those books was inked by a friend, a girl that worked at the store. So I bought that to support her, but haven't seen her in 15 years. So I'd see
you don't feel the attachment.
Not at all.
Two things.
Wait, is that Kevin Smith, Green Hornet?
In Disguise? LK of all people saw this movie and he loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Giants.
That's a good thing. And Delta says biologically 29, temporarily about 500 or so.
Temporally. This is the Kevin Smith.
Ah, nice.
And again, in my defense is now he can attest. There is a lot of shit fighting for shelf space and state.
There is a lot of stuff. Holy Toledo! And I'll tell you what, he shows off in his. He shows off the room tour and everything. Go over to Eric's channel. He does have a house tour where you can see a lot of his stuff. But the thing is you're seeing what he's showing you. And it's one thing to go, okay, on this wall we have this, and on this wall we have that. It's another to stand in a room that if it had an open sign on the window, it's the biggest comic shop wherever he is. It's literally that way, standing and looking around Eric's house.
As LK qualifies as a normal person, I'm just saying LK is a bit harsher on movies than
very harsh.
He is.
Yeah,
he is like Ash level critical.
Yes, so
maybe even worse in some ways. Or
not
worse.
He's our residential black
curmudgeon.
Curmudgeon, yes.
Life Sucks. That's I guess if people are reading Millar's Night People or whatever that vampire book is,
Nightclub,
the Nightclub, yeah.
Nightclub is great. I would say I recommend reading the Magic Order as well.
Magic Order was good.
Wow.
Well, I'm saying that book, Life Sucks. That was about a slacker vampire that hangs out in a diner, something like that. But
diner. Ooh.
This is the Batman manga.
Is that the one where he's taken as a child and adopted?
No. It was the first one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't think Eric. These are all from Eric, right?
Man, I don't know what manga was Eric reading when he had a whole shelf of manga. I don't know what the guy reads anymore. My world was turned on its side just now.
So he used to read
a couple that I remember. I mean, I read everything from Chibi Vampire to Initial D to Battle Royale. I kind of stayed away from the monsters one, like Fruits Baskets and One Piece and things like that, but. I would dabble in the horror manga also.
Okay.
I would laugh.
I could see that.
Like Tomy and
I could see that. The horror manga.
That's a great book, American Vampire.
You
know what really just like blows Zach's mind is if Eric turns on his camera and he's got the One Piece outfit. He's got the hat and everything.
He would never.
I pulled those this morning.
Oh, wow.
Because I was going to get rid of my irredeemables, Yeah, because this was before I turned on Mark Waid, and I got maybe someday. So I put them on the shelf and took American Vampire out.
Yay! What's up, LK? I told you if you say his name a couple times, he'll show up.
He's Beetlejuice.
No, so the American Vampires will be available through the DC Compact books, the trades for $10,
or at the auction.
With the full size, yes, the longer this. They're just only doing like the first the first 12, I think. Can't remember what it was. It's a really long series, and honestly, that's one of the few Scott Snyder books that I read that he actually sticks to landing.
This is another one. This is another one. I'm like,
no.
What the honest hell, dude? Seriously.
Wow.
That's great. Hold on. Okay, they moved too fast. We are actually on the Geeky Puppet Show. He's just streaming.
I'm just doing this. I don't know if this is actually going to survive on I Love Comics. The stream. What this is for is if you're on I Love Comics, drop that. Come on over to Geeky Puppet Show. I'm trying to give them a boost. There you go.
Nice.
Ron, are you talking about the one where he's in the diaper and the helmet? Is that the one? That's you.
I think that's what. That was the only Iron Man I think he was showing.
Well, I sent that. I sent the hardcover to her.
The good thing is that you're giving yourself. I don't know if you can monetize this because the fact that you're branching off of my live stream.
I don't know. I'm not trying to. I'm literally
I don't know about the technical stuff like that. But being like,
I'm really just trying to get eyeballs on your channel.
The good thing about this, though, is when people broadcast their own channels, it does share out the channels, but it also helps people get watch time that need the watch time if they're attached to a bigger channel.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, that was the whole point of doing this.
You should have done a long box.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll for the unboxing tomorrow. We'll start it on your channel. I'll hook it up and
go ahead. Yeah, and put on the long box.
That'll help. Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm just showing off a little bit of it. We're going to talk about everything that has been seen. I've got
the half price books rated it.
I've already got two. I've also got two short boxes full of comics. Dude, yeah, you sent. Another,
dude. That's God. That goes back a ways because I said I will send you some books. I said you can either auction them off or keep them for yourself, and those have been sitting in that box for I don't know how long.
Yeah, but there's two short boxes worth of comics to look at.
KRENIZ, what's up?
There's a lot of stuff. This is. I'm going to do my best. There are some with like, what is it, Books A Million or something like that. I'm going to try to get rid of the stickers, but mostly I'm going to spend a lot of time pricing the ones I'm selling, and then really doing some deep, dark soul diving to see if the ones I put in the keep pile truly need to be kept. Or
they're all announcing they're all announcing their rivals. We only had one person announce his departure. That was who was that earlier? Ray Kirk.
Yeah,
Ray Kirk said I'm out
at the airport on these live streams now.
Oh,
the damn near the entire set there of the Mike Grills, Eric.
Yeah, I found the entire Grell run in comic form.
Yeah,
and the two sets of shelves on the right side of the television, the album crates. I wanted everything I had to be able to fit in that of those kind of things. So when I moved stuff around, I needed to cull a little bit, and so I figured, I've got the comics, so I'll just send you the trades.
Iron Man was on, or they put that Iron Man trade. Marani was saying it's like I need to replace that.
I thought I did. Now here's the thing: it could actually be in a box I put together, but it's in the move. It's in our storage. Or I'll send this one. I don't care. Yeah. If I didn't send along, there we go. I'll tell you what, I think Deadpool and Wolverine's going to kick all sorts of ass at the box office.
I heard it could do 190 this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I think
And
it's gonna break.
then wait, Captain America 5 is just gonna bomb, or 4, whatever it is.
People are gonna be like, "What happened?
It's
Where'd
not
all the
gonna-
superhero people go?"
So I haven't been through all of the. I haven't been through all the comics yet. I've just thumbed through. There are some good ones.
I wonder if Joker 2 will bomb, because it's not like people want Margaret Robbie.
No, I do not want that to bomb. I don't want any comic book movie to bomb.
I'm not saying I wanted to. I'm just wondering if it probably will.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'll do as well as the first one did.
Is that, to me, that's the quintessential Super Dickery cover.
What is she doing?
Oh, the one that he comes in. He's I'll tell you why I'll never marry you, Lana, or you, Lois, who wants a wife so stupid she doesn't realize I'm Superman when I take off my Clark Kent glasses.
That's it.
I can see why you got that.
Yeah. All right, guys, I got to get going so I could go see this movie. You kids have fun. Tomorrow, I'll give you a heads up. Gail's got tomorrow off, and we might do something. I don't know what.
Hey, I'm good either way. I've seen this movie that we're going to tomorrow.
Right.
If.
But what I'm saying is it might be earlier, it might be later. I know you guys have your readings, so it might. I'll try to get it early as possible, so it doesn't disturb or anything like that, or we'll be competing. Either way, you guys have a great day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow with a partial review. Yeah. Have a good one. See you.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.
Okay, the context is Aaron came down to my house today and picked up 5 decent sized boxes of trades and a couple short boxes of trades and comics. And he said, he wants to do an unboxing. And so I said, I've seen the movie because, well, they were mine.
You know the great thing is? We're still streaming the Isle of Comics even though he left. I don't think he knows that. Because I was looking like, we're still at 19. Like, there's no way we're 19. That's combined. I was like, so when you like join a live stream and then you connect, they'll say like you join the chat and you go to StreamYard, like, and it's or if you want to broadcast it during. So it's still going on live on his. So it's like whatever we do could affect his. But if you're watching this, I love comics. You should be going over to the Geeky Puppet Show, the better channel. Subscribing there where we do readings. We talk about comic books, and then we basically just have fun.
I told I said I kind of feel bad, because the stuff I'm sending you, some of it's been sitting there for so damn long that your tastes have changed since I started that box.
What's up, Dark Man? I know, March Hair. That's right. On Geeky Puppet Show, we say hello to the people in the chat. We click your name. We show you your comments here. What is up, Manny? Great artist, great writer. Good. I need Skunk Girl, bro. I need the next book. I need it. I know. Hopefully, this next year will be the year that we get the Skunk Girl series going out. Get the economy going. Get some more good Kickstarter books coming out. But wow, I've never seen this many people watching us.
And
who knew all we had to do was hijack I Love Comics.
Mm-hmm.
Man. But yeah, if you guys ever done so, come to Geeky Puppet Show. We're showing off a lot of books we got this week. Eric got a lot of books. We got what, 10 books, Eric?
10 plus that comic book creator.
I think I got 3 Marvel books, but on top of that, I got like 15 indie books. I don't know. I guess I might be done with DC. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Green Lantern I might stick around for. Superman, not really looking forward to as much as, But then again,
Josh Williamson and Dan Mora, you're not looking forward to?
Yeah, but but there's those 2 awful words, Mark and Wade.
Oh, you see, I just blocked his words out of my mind. And to my knowledge, Justice League is going to write itself. It's going to be like AI generated.
The only thing that I might dip my toes back over DC is Torn Grunbeck writing Catwoman.
I'm interested in that. That intrigues me.
The last time I read a good Catwoman story, I mean, I love the original 90s run going through with Chuck Dix and all that stuff, you know, and Joe Duffy. But Ram V was really good on that. I don't
think I read the Ram V stuff. I think I read the 2 issues that Blake Northcott did. And then Blake Northcott just like fell off the face of the earth.
I would go over. Well, Zach, he can't see you because he's on the other chat. He's in.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Good Dog Press. I was saying hello to you.
Yeah.
For some reason, StreamYard won't put my message over there.
No, that's what the little link chain link means. It means they're on another channel.
I see.
They're separating. They're segregating.
Good night, Eloise.
No,
I'm not gonna try saying hello or goodbye. I'm just gonna say it vocally.
I told you, everybody's announcing the departures and their rivals.
I know.
What is this, an airport?
I know.
Well,
now, Bahrain.
Please pick up the courtesy telephone.
No, I said, I'm not gonna. I won't try. I won't try to tell anybody not to buy DC because of that prick. No. That's up to the individual. I said, Wes is still reading everything at DC not written by Mark Waid. Aaron is basically quit comics altogether. He's so pissed at what's happened in the last month. I mean, with
I think that guy needs to take blood pressure medicine sometimes.
With that guy, okay, I do. Is that the one that's got that story in? Okay, I'll try to find that because I know I do have that in my personal collection, but Sensational Spider-Man Marvel Treasury 27. Let me check something. I've got a couple.
Yeah. So if you're gonna read the Catwoman, go through starting with Joe Duffy, going through Chuck Dixon, then you can I believe Gail Simone took over for a little bit. I think
sounds right,
or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after Brubaker and all that stuff, you can just kind of skip, go to Joella Jones when she takes over like in 2000 Rebirth.
Yeah.
Joel, and then it goes in the Ram V, and then skip Teeny Howard.
Of course, you would skip. Why wouldn't you skip Teeny Howard?
Like I said, it's been fun. I normally didn't read DC. It was I Love Comics and Eric Breen around there, and they're like, the Monday night we've got issues. That's what got me back in the comic books. I had quit cold turkey, bro. I was out of it. I was out of the game, and then I saw Josh Williamson was on Flash. I had no idea who this was, but I started reading it, and I was like, "This is actually pretty
great
good.
Run, great run." I don't even like Barry.
And then here comes Kevin McGuire, or whatever his name is. I was like, "Who the heck is this guy?" I had no idea who it was at the time because I wasn't really in DC Comics. I read Marvel. I'm like, "Oh, that's a kind of cool thing." Oh, actually, it wasn't Kevin McGuire. It was Kevin McGinnis or something like that. Whatever. Then Jeremy Adams comes out and he writes an Element story. I'm like, Element Man, whatever. I was like, "What the heck is this?" It's like. And then I was like, dude, Jeremy Adams just kicked ass on the Flash. That was just like great. If you're a Wally West fan, it's been a while since I've read great Wally West Flash books. Some people like Barry more than they like Wally. You're wrong.
They're wrong.
It's okay,
they're wrong,
and it's
okay. You're allowed to be.
Barry went out.
Make fun of you.
Barry went out as the best Flash at the time. No, he went out. I give him. He had a proper ending. They brought him back because they didn't like the fact that Wally, a ginger, was the Flash, so they had to replace him with that guy. But yeah, there's a lot of cool books coming out. Like we were talking about Dick Tracy's out.
Dick Tracy, Flash Gordon.
Yep. Wow. He's also Flash Gordon Quarterly coming out within the next 2 weeks.
Transformer, all the Energon Burst stuff is.
What is the other one? Defenders of the Earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you get a preview in the back of the Flash Gordon book.
Yep.
Which was actually really good, and I thought that was kind of cool. And it's who's it? Alex DeCampi, right? No, who's not Alex DeCampi? Who's the guy who's running the Defenders? Is it Joe?
Running what?
Defenders of the Earth.
Is that Alex Segura?
I don't think it's that.
Can't be it.
I forgot who it was. I have to look it up again. But I mean, like,
hang on.
The best 2 books that came out this week, for me, was from Massive. That was Dick Tracy. Yeah.
Mad Cave.
Sorry, Mad Cave. Wasn't Massive?
Massive is doing the Popeye comic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's Massive. Yeah.
That's not the book. Liar. Sorry, I'm trying to find the Defenders of the Earth #1.
Is the stream ending? We've gone for almost 3 hours. We've been here for a while. I mean, like Dan
Didio. Dan Didio.
Yeah. I'm really sticking around for a while. I mean, everybody's just wants to live stream.
Who wants to hear about the new Justice League comic? Nobody, probably. They did some of the San Diego.
Tom Taylor, right?
No, the one that's being written by itself, and Dan Moore is doing the art for.
They're using ChatGPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT. Mark Waid will just be using ChatGPT. That'll be my justification for No, the Justice League lineup is the Trinity. It's Flash, Captain Atom, who hasn't been in anything in a hot minute, Martian Manhunter, Black Lightning, and Star Sapphire. It's a pretty interesting lineup. And they're bringing back the Watchtower satellite, which is pretty cool, I think. But yeah, they talked about that. They talked about some of the Absolute stuff. The Absolute stuff, some of it sounds really weird. I think a lot of the Black Pill people are going to be really against Absolute Batman because Bruce Wayne's not going to be a millionaire.
Oh,
Alfred's not going to be a butler.
So speaking of San Diego Comic-Con, Jimmy Palmiotti, he's at a hotel, and he's like, "Look at these prices, $20 for this." Is like, one, you're in California.
It's in California. Yeah, and you're in San Diego. San Diego's.
He might have been
that nice for a reason. It's pricey.
Yeah, I would say he might be in a really nice 5-star hotel for all we know too. They always jack the prices up.
Well, I mean, San Diego. Unless, I mean, if you're within a walking distance of the bay, of the water, you're paying for a lot.
Eloise, I want to talk about the good days of stomach reading. I know it's autocorrect.
What's stomach?
I have 4 words for Jimmy Palmiotti.
He's in.
You voted for this.
Then.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, if it's it's bad everywhere, you can only imagine what it's like in California.
Well, my process of the people who are also like, is this like false, like being shocked, or they're just bringing it up because they're trying to make it sound like they're appalled at this.
It's called they never had proper civics lessons in high school.
No,
we don't have Hondas at high school.
I mean, it's not like I went through my collection and got rid of everything he ever wrote. It's just at this point, I'm not going to financially support that prick. And when it was just him saying that it was bad enough when he said he'd rather let the industry burn than work with people he didn't agree with politically, that made me not not read him anymore. His post-Trump assassination attempt tweets pushed me out of DC altogether because if DC had any standards and practices, even if they agree with him, you're running a fucking business, and letting him basically just give a giant middle finger to half the country after a man had died and a presidential candidate came within a millisecond of dying. And fuck DC.
All right, and since people are already here, I'll quickly go over my books that I actually got today. It's for those who missed it the first hour or so. I'm just going to go real quickly. The Addiction. Okay, book. Followed by Creature of the Black Lagoon Lives. Final issue. Okay. Not the best. Something Epic. Final issue of this story arc. It was alright. Really great art. Story's kind of weak. Needs a synopsis at the very beginning because you forget what's going on. Then you got Ultimate Black Panther. Interesting story. Got some decent art. It's okay story. Not the best. Resident Alien 2 of 4. If those are a fan of the comic book series, this is basically the pregnancy and giving birth to Harry's child, and with what's her name, Astra. And then we have Venom, Separation Anxiety, fun book with a Ghost Kingpin, and then the Purple Man, Local Man, fantastic issue. I never thought I'd say it again about Tim Seeley, but it's really good.
What's up, Summoner?
What's up? Alrighty. Here comes your third viewer. Well, that's because we're all on a Geeky Puppet Show. We should be. That's where we're streaming here originally. Nemesis comes out this week too. Good start for the new story arc. Expect a lot of bloodshed.
Blood everywhere.
Final issue of this, Tom Wells is basically a vampire book with Vampire Wolverine. Very fun issue with Maverick, Night Guard, and
okay. If you're reading Local Man and not reading Blood Squad 7, you're doing it wrong.
I probably will. Actually, I'm gonna start picking it up because he does. Okay, he name drops Bloodguard.
What if I'm reading Blood Squad 7 but not reading Local Man? Is that acceptable?
Very fun issue. If you're not picking up Ghost Machines or Rook Exodus, all the first couple of issues were world building. Now we're actually getting to all the action and the main story plot. It's just great, epic. It's very fun. For those who like stray dogs, you should be picking up Feral. Cats, rabies, on the hunt from humans that are killing animals that have rabies. It is just craziness. And it's all done looking like Aristocats. There's one of the dogs that's all zombified, or not zombified, but he's got the rabies. All right. Turn of Mark Spector. Moon Knight is back in this issue. Very fun with Khonshu just being badass. And the Wrecker making a surprise appearance.
I kind of want the Wrecker to be a recurring character now.
Right? Serving Khonshu?
Like a reluctant, like, why do I keep getting roped into serving this guy? That would be fun.
Void Rivals was really fun.
Did you see? I didn't mention this, but that panel where Mark basically like tricks him into helping. He's like, "Oh, are you saying you're a chicken?" I didn't say that.
You're a chicken heart, it's like, yeah. He's like, Void Rivals was great. Return of Hot Rod from the Free Comic Book Day, and then we have Springer here too, being badass.
Hot Rod.
Then it comes down to we got Conan the Barbarian, new story arc. I thought it was great. He gets attacked by wolves, kills the wolves, just like he did in the movie, and then he eats one of them on a return to fire. Then he goes down because he sees a giant, great grizzly bear, kills it with a sword in his bare hands, so kills it, comes back, finds these three guys, basically thinking they're going to steal his food and stuff. He's getting ready to kill them, and then this girl is pretty much spying on them. So, let's see a new story arc. Also, Distillery, The Big Burn. If you're not reading this, you should pick it up. It is $9, so if you're on a budget and you're looking for something that's fun to read, I would check this out. As it's described as Ocean's 11, people breaking into hell because they want to get their souls back that the devil basically tricked them out of. So it's crooks putting a team together of more crooks.
Theologically not sound, but entertainment-wise, very much so.
And I love the wraparound cover too.
Oh, is it a wraparound?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and Self-Help, another fun book. One of my top 3 indie books this week. You should be reading this. Huge plot twist on the main character. It is just fun. Twist after twist. Yeah. This is done by Kellerman. And it says King on there, but don't worry. It's not Tom King. It's actually a better King. Yeah. Flash Gordon came out this week. If you're never reading this, you should check out Flash Gordon. Go read the Free Comic Book Day if you can get your hands on that. But you can also, if you can't get your hands on that, read this. This is fun. I thought maybe this was a wraparound cover, but it's actually not. It just has like the same thing in the back, or a little differently. But you also get, like I said, you get the what's coming out for them. Flash Gordon, Defenders of the Earth, Quarterly. Then there's Flash Gordon's the complete library, Sunday strips. Then there's Flash Gordon Adventures, paper cuts. And then you also get a preview of the actual Defenders of the Earth in the back here too. Dan Didio. So if you're a Phantom fan, you should be checking this out. The Phantom will heavily be involved in this as well. I don't know who much of the other characters are, but I mean, it just starts off with a very dark like opening, though. I'll say that, though. Poor Dale. And then Dick Tracy, number 3.
I love that
you should be getting
much.
if you're not getting this. It is straight up just like they don't care. This is what happens with gangsters. People die, even cops.
Blam, 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 blam.
Flash Gordon comic, Eric, and what's
Mad Cave. Mad Cave Studios. Same people that are putting out the Dick Tracy comic.
Yep. These are both crazy, right? Just very fun, man. This is $5. And then this was also.
I think Flash Gordon was $5 too, wasn't
This
it?
was also $5.
Maybe I hope that.
I said, if you're on a budget, I would recommend getting these 2 books. That's all you need to get for the week. If you have more, we have more. If you have more money, get self-help. These are my top 3 recommendations. These are just fun. But that's the books that I got this week. I'm sure if you want to look back, Zach got a
Basically, look at RDV's list and then add Green Arrow, and that might be the only difference.
Right.
Rook was the same.
And I think Eric got the same as well.
Yeah.
You got 2 books that you should not get. He recommends don't.
Yeah. His are the avoid at all costs.
Do not, under any circumstances, get Epitaphs from the Abyss or Hello Darkness. They sucked, and then they went wherever suck goes after it's been sucking all day.
Right.
Some more.
Oh my gosh. So I can't think of any more comic book news, I mean, I also don't pay attention to San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, I know Jeremy Adams. I've been seeing bits on Twitter. I know Jeremy Adams was there. Scott Snyder, all the regular Daniel Warren Johnson.
Marv Wolfman was advertising. He says, "If you're down here, come to my small table." I'm like, who would not? If I see Marv Wolfman,
wouldn't go to Marv Wolfman,
right?
Well, I know who wouldn't. All of the teeny boppers who pretend
all the
comics.
current idiots, they don't like Starfire.
Now, don't call them idiots. They don't know no better. It's like King of the Hill. Those kids would be very upset if they could read. They just don't. That was a terrible impersonation. I apologize. But
I'm trying to see.
Bobby. Dang it, Bobby.
Those kids be idiots, Bobby.
I thought I sounded like the sheriff of Nottingham from Robin Hood for a second. I'm trying to be careful going through CBR because it's all Deadpool stuff.
Undead Quinn, I apologize. I did see you earlier. You did post your list, what you got. I know he's bringing up Goat and Bunny Man. Beware the Pig Man.
Yeah.
There was earlier. He had a bunch. He was at least 5, I thought.
Yeah, he had 5 books on Tuesday. He had 5 books. When we did the top 5.
Let me scroll back up and this late scroll up. All right.
Kevin Feige got a Hollywood star. So weird.
For what?
I
building up Marvel and ruining it. MCU.
Having 3 good years and then a blunder after, or I don't know.
Yeah. I did see them. Maybe he only posted one thing.
Yeah, comic news. There wasn't a lot coming out of San Diego Comic. The DC thing, and it wasn't even that many announcements coming from DC. They were really just talked about the absolute titles. Oh, Sacrificers number 10.
Number 10. Yeah, it was the other one.
Yeah, they really only talked about the 3 absolute, and not even a lot about the absolute books.
Flash Gordon was number 2, actually. So.
Flash Gordon was good.
Void Rivals.
Void Rivals was good.
Got that. Yeah, and then Goat. Yeah, Man, Goat, and the Bunny Man. Beware the Pig Man.
Beware the Pig Man.
It'd be funny if it was like that Winnie the Pooh book where they're going against Piglet. Like Tigger 2. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really. There's not a lot of news coming out of San Diego that I'm seeing right now.
No, not much, And as far as television goes, we around Extreme Movie Show, Rob and I reviewed the first 5 episodes of season 6 of Cobra Kai. And the way I described it, basically, it's like the first couple of episodes, it was okay. And the great thing about these are like 30 minutes, the 38 minutes here most. They're not really long. So you can watch them in succession and not worry about spending like 5 hours. And the last 2 were really good. Chris Rafferty, the writer behind Lucifer, state television show, wrote episode 4. And then, and then I guess Danielson also, what's his name? Ralph Macchio directed episode 3. But here's the one thing: that show was supposed to come out back on December because the strike got pushed to July.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of why I kind of just didn't care for it, because it was so pushed so far. I kind of like moved on by that time.
To Mega Therion, they did announce Absolute Flash. Jeff Lemire is the one writing that one. So they didn't go any further into it. They didn't show like concept art like they did for the
what I
Big
want at the MegaCon? I want these Comic Cons. Don't tell me about the books. I want to see who's getting the fights down there.
Well, that's what I want from cons. What was it? Was it last year or 2 years ago? There was like no Marvel Studios, no Warner Brothers. It was all books, and like you could tell all of like the normies who went said it was boring, but the actual comic fans were like really enjoying it.
When I watch NASCAR, I watch it to see if there's any crashes.
That's terrible.
I want to see car.
That's
the way I am. I'm the guy who watches the Demolition Derby. I don't care for the stock car racing.
Well, Demolition Derby, stuff's gonna get demolished.
Also, to Mega Therion, thanks for joining us. I just noticed that you're on, because we're streaming to two different channels. I Love Comics is the other one, and then also on here on Geeky Puppet Show. Also, and they're also streaming to Geeky Puppet Show on Twitch as well. So, a show I wish I'd known about before I cut the cable was 9/11.
911.
Sorry. It's hard to hear over your windstorm. Anyway,
I'm sorry, I was tired. I've been up since like 7.
We're doing Great MARANYA. I had chicken and she had some old steak. Oh. You giving your dog old steak? Good. Give her new steak. Flash moves to Canada and plays hockey. All right. But I'm Eric. You got anything else to say, or are you ready to call it quits?
No, I'm good.
We almost going on for 3 hours.
That's yeah.
Almost as long as the Lord of the Rings movie.
Here's some intimate love for you. the young couple in this are either 100 or dead.
We're dead.
No, because this is 1950.
Jeez. Hold on. And okay, the Theo's ring already posted. Okay, yeah, that's the stream we're on right now. Well, I can't. That's right. I can't post in that one. Dang it! I'm on the wrong channel. Oh well.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. But
Ethereal Dragon put a link to the other channel.
Yeah, because I'm under Geeky Puppet Show along to under there, so I can't. That's
on
not
the case.
Geeky Puppet Show doesn't have a blue wrench. On comics, I noticed that.
How about them apples?
Yeah, right. But yeah, we on Geeky Puppet Show was different than I Love Comics. For those who are just tuning in, I Love Comics. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we go over the comic books come out each week. Tuesdays, we basically talk about what ones we're looking forward to getting, and Thursday is basically like the review. Both streams start around 9 p.m. Eastern on the Geeky Puppet Show. And after that, Fridays through Monday is pretty much just readings. We read comic books. We ham it up. We have fun.
Yeah, this week was the very rare, sailing 2 books across the room in disgust. I can't remember the last time I got something that I sailed across the room in disgust.
Summoner, it's not a puppet show. It used to be, but now there are no puppets. The channel
they will be making the return back in wait for October 17th.
Wait for October? You want them to wait 2 months, 3 months?
You know what? You can go back and watch the first three years of this channel where it was all freaking puppets. And then Zach complained about being the only human on screen.
Did I complain? I thought it was like a Muppet movie.
You're complaining right now. Why would not?
There's always that one person that's like a human in the Muppet. There's Michael Caine or there's Tim Curry.
You pretty much where there was a frog and then there was Puppety, and then you were the only one. Oh, go yeah. Any of the TV shows reviews we've done over the past few years of it, the puppets do.
There was that shark for a little bit. There was the shark.
Yeah, sad he had to go.
Yeah, I have him. He's in my closet right now. He's looking at me.
Does he ever knock on the door and say, "Candygram"? Funny ending for Skit.
No, he's just sitting there on top of the short boxes that I have.
Zach was Mr. Hooper. Well, he's white.
Do you ever walk up to the door and go, "Chapter 3, I am eaten by sharks"?
No.
And there's no way in hell you're old enough to get that reference.
No, I do
That was
not.
from a very early season of Saturday Night Live. When it was funny.
When it's funny.
Yes.
It was funny up until like 2010, maybe 2013.
Actually, it had its moments in the 21st century, and they've had some. I think Bill Hader's amazing.
Bill Hader's great.
You cannot not laugh at him.
My favorite Bill Hader skit is where they had the puppets out.
My favorite were Vincent Price's holiday parties,
because
that's where drunk James Mason comes from.
Oh, really?
John Hamm does a James Mason as well as Trusty, but he did him drunk, and so that's why I asked him to start doing drunk James Mason. That's from that.
I think Mr. Hopper did run the store, but I didn't watch as a kid. I can't remember if he's white or black. There was a like the thing when I grew up with Sesame Street, Bob was the only white guy. I can't remember.
But when Saturday Night Live was really fun, you remember John Madden, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The coach, not the video game.
Yeah. No. Who John Madden is. Yeah, I'm not that young.
I was kidding about that. He hosted one night, and it was the week after the Bengals lost the first Super Bowl they played to the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. And
the first sketch was he goes into a lesbian biker bar, and he's promoting Sid Miller Likes. He's doing Miller Lite commercials. It was Betty beer, the bitches beer, and he goes up to this lesbian. He goes, "Hey, bitch, that's my Betty," and he belts her. But the next scene,
I think you're gonna say he's got the little the digital turn. He's like, "See this here?"
The next scene is the Bengals locker room after the Super Bowl, and he walks in there. He's like doing the post game interviews. He opens a locker, and there's a black extra who had hung himself. And can you imagine trying to get away with that today?
Wow!
But then he goes up to Tim Kazurinsky. If you remember him, he was this diminutive comedian. He was playing Forrest Gregg, who, context, was a burly ex-lineman, I believe, for the Packers, who was coaching the Bengals at the time. And he goes, "Well, Coach, how do you feel about the game?" And he goes, Well, John, they didn't embarrass themselves out there. They embarrassed me." And he just launches into a tirade where he just rips the team apart. It was, I'd say, it was.
I love John, the running gag joke was towards his later of his career, John Madden as a host. He's he could just talk about anything. He could just drop a little diagram, start drawing stuff.
Well, Frank Caliendo owes his career to John Madden.
Yeah, but Madden, when John Madden was basically did commentary, that's when football was fun for me.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Madden if I watch a great team.
If I watch baseball Brewers on TV, or I don't even watch it on TV unless I like listening to Bob Uecker on commentary. If Bob Uecker was doing the TV, announcing commentary, then I'd watch him more. But
I can sympathize as a Reds fan. Reds have never had good TV. Well, they've never had good TV announcers. They're blandly competent at best. But they had Marty Brenneman for 40 years in the broadcast, but
Yeah.
he was around so long. He replaced Al Michaels as the Reds radio announcer.
Wow. You know what? You know, I'd like to actually go back and watch. I don't know if he was on TV, but Harry Carey calling the Cubs games. I've seen YouTube clips, and it's just like, that's great.
Here's Harry Carey in a nutshell. It's like 7th inning or 8th inning. And there's a fly ball to left. Kirk Gibson comes in and makes the catch. Problem was, Kirk Gibson had been replaced by a black outfielder an inning before. Harry didn't care. He was gone.
He was promoting. They were promoting Scrooge.
Bill Murray was a regular. They were good friends.
I said that would have just been a delight to watch it on TV though. And I'm sorry, I'd be watching the Cubs games if they were on TV.
The only other stadium I've ever been to, and it sucks because I wish I'd been to more, but was Wrigley Field, and we had standing room only tickets because we went up there for the Chicago Comic Con, and I told her, I said, I will go if you will go to a Cubs game on Friday, and it was day game at the time because they just started night games like a year before or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Harry Carey had a medical, he had like a heart attack, and he had just come back, and our standing room only tickets were behind the plate, which was also where the broadcast booth was, and Harry came out and held up a Bud glass that I'm sure was just filled with water at the time, but actually got to see him in person for didn't get to talk to him or anything like that, but it was like seeing but like I said, but the Kirk Gibson line with a black dude out there, that was my favorite.
Yeah. Dave, it's funny. My dad was quoting Emeril Lagasse the other day, just saying "bam" all over the place. So Emeril Lagasse and John Madden, bam, 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 bam.
Oh, there was a skit with Will Ferrell doing Harry Carey, and I forgot who he had on, but they're talking about like space and stuff like that, and he.
Yes.
I forgot which one.
I remember that. That was.
I forgot who the actual celebrity actor was they had on there. I guess. Wasn't Bill? Who the heck was it? It was someone that was like. I can't remember now. now it's like they have on there. They can't doing it.
Look at that kid with the sombrero.
Oh man. Honestly, that was my Will Ferrell playing Harry Carey, and I was just like, wow, what's wrong with this guy? It's like, and then you start watching, it's like, holy crap, is that spot on?
Harry Carey impressions don't really sound like Harry. You can tell that's who they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, but just like, people don't get Rod Serling's voice right, but like when Dan Aykroyd would do it, you knew who he was doing.
Speaking of impersonation, Trusty does the Stan Lee impersonation. Yeah. We had a YouTuber or reviewer commented saying that he was just watching. He's like, I wasn't sure if he was going to watch these, and all of a sudden he's like, he hears Stan Lee. He's like, holy! He said he had to pause. He's like, holy crap! It's like, it wasn't expecting that. Because it's no secret we do sometimes. Our older ratings, are usually like an hour and a half. Sometimes with their Fantastic Four. Because sometimes we do ad lib, and sometimes it's just that they're that freaking wordy, Stan.
Another Harry Carey story.
Yeah,
Harry at one time was a very respected announcer, and he worked for the Cardinals, who were owned by the Bush family. Well, Harry lost his job in 1967, I believe, when it came to light that Harry had been banging Mrs. Bush. Because believe it or not, Harry Carey was at one point a big-time ladies' man.
Which Bush? The Big Beans or George Sr.'s?
Is an August Bush of the Bush Brewing Company who owned
okay. I was like,
he was banging the owner's wife.
Wow.
And it's, like I said, apparently, I think it was August Bush. It didn't go well. That's then he, God, where he, I think, went to Oakland for a year or two and announced the A's. And I can't remember if he did any time with the White Sox between that and the Cubs. Yeah, the Cubs were, obviously that's where he did his last 15 years and became a beloved institution. Now, oddly enough, when in an odd from the Terry Bollea testified against Vince McMahon in a federal court, then went back to work for him. Bear that in mind. As I say, Anheuser-Busch got Harry Carey. Remember the commercials? I'm a Cubs fan and a Bud man.
Yep.
I'm guessing the old man was dead by then, and the people running the company saw dollar signs and didn't care anymore. But that I'm sure that had to. Somebody probably tried to stop that from happening, I would guess. But
it's no secret. I've been telling you. I've been sharing clips and I'll posting on Twitter and stuff about the sports clips, mainly baseball. It blows my mind because I never watched a single game with Pete Rose, but when I see some of the stuff that he does, is like, holy crap! It's like he is very talented. It sucks that he did what he did. They kept lying about it, but I was like, wow. And it just made me think about all the good baseball players back in the day we had, Not to say there isn't any good today. I'm just saying it's like Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson, these guys. It's just like
Bo Jackson would have been one of the all-time greats in either sport. At some point, he was going to have to choose one or the other. Unfortunately, some journeyman stiff for the Bengals named Kevin Walker hit him in the hip on a kickoff return, and the hip injury was so severe it basically derailed both of his careers.
That sucks.
It wasn't a dirty hit. It was one of those just fluke things that, just like everybody knows who Sandy Koufax is, but there was a guy coming up at the same time named Herb Score who was better, because he was doing what Sandy Koufax did in the second half of his career from day one. And he was pitching against the Yankees, and Gil McDougall hit a line drive off his eye. And he was never able to come back. He came back, but he was a shell of himself, and his career was basically over.
He told me about this, because we're talking about getting hit in the face, because you've taken balls to the face before.
Well, I told you I was listening to a Reds game from '57 on YouTube, where they paused the action to say that had just happened. And that was just weird, because I'd just been talking about that fairly recently before that. Because I said that kid from Boston who was arguably better than Carl Yastrzemski got hit in the eye with a fastball, and he had one good year about 3 years later, and then just disappeared basically after that guy, Tony Conigliaro. He had 100 major league home runs at age 22.
Man, I'm just watching this everything back in the day. They had bad umps back then too, but just seeing I forgot what baseball player was, but he got ejected, so he went in the dugout and started throwing all the bats onto the field. Forgot what game it was, probably early '90s. And I was just laughing. I was like, man, I wish more people would do this. He didn't get care. He's gonna find me. I'm just gonna start throwing things.
I'm gonna ask her. Okay, if I'm the Pirates, I don't baby him, because we saw how well that worked for Washington with Strasburg. We need to see. Yeah, George Brett, the Pine Tar incident probably. We need to see going away from. Well, we also got to stop producing pitchers who are wound tighter than a cheap watch.
Well, we need to start letting the ones who actually are good and actually are nice people, like Steve Bauer, let them play.
That's Trevor Bauer.
Sorry, Trevor Bauer.
But it's.
We get my point though. That guy is.
Now it's almost like, since everything's max effort, because it used to be, if you started a game, you were expected to finish it. that you came out of the game if you were getting bombed. Now they raised them basically from Little League to be max effort, throw your 80 to 100 pitches, 5-6 innings, and then you're out, because they're paying middle relievers what they used to pay superstars. And unless they reverse that at some point, it's not if they're going to end up getting Tommy John, it's when. But so I said, the problem, they're all getting Tommy John, whether they're babied or not. So I say, let them go. Let them throw 150, 160 innings.
Yeah, the Brewers just beat the Cubs. Like, do you see that the other day on Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Barely. They had to use like almost all their pitchers.
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, I think one of the pitchers is injured or something like that. Can't remember what the reason was, but I was listening to it. I listen to it a little bit when I'm driving somewhere. I'll turn it on, but I don't listen to the radio and stuff.
I said, Skeens may already be a top 5 pitcher, and which means we have a top 5 pitcher with acne.
Yeah, but you can have the best pitcher and have the worst umpire, so all that pitching goes down.
Well, that doesn't, but that doesn't affect when if somebody's arms. Hey, LK, saw where Dylan Cease pitched a no-hitter today, 114 pitches. That was his career high. That's ridiculous. Speaking
of pitchers, I think it was Two Mega Therian. Yeah, talking about Nolan Ryan. I'm thinking of Greg Maddux and all those guys back in the day.
They also mentioned that he lives close to Steven Strasburg, who basically signed a contract for $240 million, and I don't think he pitched 240 innings after that.
Wow.
Yeah, because it just, I said they took all the right precautions with him, and it didn't matter. That's why I'm thinking it's almost, the more you try to it's like the more you try to keep people from getting hurt, the more they get hurt.
Yeah, as I said, these pitchers, they always throw their shoulders out. They have shoulder surgery. That one guy, was it Greg Maddux?
Yeah.
Where he broke his arm or something like that? Or
no.
tore his,
no, Maddux never got hurt because he wasn't max effort.
No, there was one of them actually tore a muscle and it kept pitching, and then it finally healed on its own. Either Ryan or it was Maddux. I think it was I was just like, they're talking about. I was like, the dude played through it, and it eventually just healed.
Well, he said it healed itself. Trevecchi had to have his arm amputated.
Yeah, the other guy he had his arm. Just dramatic effect there.
I went to go leave the room.
It was like 2 seconds. He turned the camera on. It's like, I was like,
all right, okay, what's going on?
I didn't want Evil Black Cat to say I look chunky again.
LK wants to come on and tell us the Dave Dravecki story. Please don't forget to mention the part where he came back after a year, beat the Reds, and then his arm fell off.
All right.
Of course, in those days, he could have beat the Reds with the arm he had left.
Well, before LK, not because LK will be getting here, but because I have work in the morning, I'm gonna have to sign off. Not that I don't love listening to baseball talk, but I do have an early day tomorrow. So,
is it at least more interesting than wrestling?
Oh, infinitely more interesting than wrestling. Infinitely. But then again, to me, everything is more interesting. No
spoilers. I haven't watched Blood and Guts yet, so.
But
so don't spoil it, Zach.
Spoil what?
Blood and Guts, because I know you watched it.
No, I have not actually. Sorry. I will try not to. I don't believe in spoiling already. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Y'all have a great evening. Okay, if you hear this when you get here, hi and bye. I'll catch y'all later.
See you, Zach.
Bye, guys.
Later. All right.
Luis Medina to undergo season-ending Tommy John surgery.
There he is.
Tell us a story, Uncle LK.
It's story time with LK, baby.
Who's ready for story time with
poor
LK,
tale.
baby?
The poor tale of Dave Dravecky. Yeah, so he was pitching, and I know because I mean he was a Giant during this time period. Yeah, he broke his arm, basically out for almost the season. Came back, first start, everybody was cheering. It was amazing. And I can't remember if it was the next start. It was within just a few starts, and I mean it's still just like the for you that Tim Krumrie injury or the Theismann injury. I can still see in my mind's eye when Dravecky goes and throws that pitch and it snaps his arm in half, and that thing is waving like a wet noodle on the mound. It's one of the most bizarre and at the same time just disturbing injuries you ever saw. And then it turned out, pretty sure it turned out that it wound up part of the reason why the arm snapped again was it turned out he had bone cancer, which is what led to his arm getting amputated. And sadly, I believe, God, I want to say he died like 10 years ago or something. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost want to look this up to make sure I'm not misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that he passed away.
Oh no, he's fine.
Is he?
68, still married.
Okay, God, who am I thinking of?
Night, Eloise.
Somebody else. I was thinking of, but yeah, I mean, 89. Yeah, his.
Well, yeah, the thing is that
over
the one start that was successful, he beat the Reds, and then his arm snapped in the start after that.
Yeah, I'm looking at his numbers on Baseball Reference. Yeah, two starts. 2 starts, 13 innings, an ERA of 3.46 in those 2 starts. So, yeah, it's one of those things you don't soon forget when you're watching it on television.
Well, I think I've heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, if he had to have an arm amputated at one point. The Reds had a pitcher in 1970 named Wayne Simpson, who was 14-1 at the All-Star break, but he was already hurt, and he lost his last 2 decisions, wasn't available for the World Series. Everybody talks about how the Orioles crushed the Reds in that World Series, but Gary Nolan was hurt, Wayne Simpson was gone, and those 2 guys right there. Jim Merritt, his arm had fallen off. He went 1-11 the next year. I mean, it's just the Reds pitching just died. I mean, because they were 70-30 after 100 games, and then just kind of treaded water after that. But really, the only healthy pitching they had in the World Series was Jim McLaughlin and the immortal Tony Cloninger. Cloninger had to start it. Do you know what he's Venkman? I know you. Okay, do you know what Tony Cloninger's best known for?
Not off the top of my head right now.
AEW, right?
He did something that only a handful of people have ever done, and he's the only pitcher to have ever done it.
Oh, did he hit 2 home runs in the same game?
2 grand slams.
2 grand slams. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis said, "Big deal. I did that in 1 inning."
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony Cloninger, I think he had 9 RBI on the game.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's well. You think that's one of those things that for people that have been watching baseball for as long as LK and I have, there was a time when I was watching a playoff game. It was like the 8th inning, and it was tied, and the pitcher batted. And now, I mean, I said even before the DH, that would have been unheard of.
Well, it would have been very rare circumstances, only with some of the top hitting pitchers. But I mean, hell, I remember times where the Giants, do you remember Don Robinson? Yeah, he was a good hitting pitcher, and there was at least one time where the Giants had him as a pinch hitter, and not because they were out of players, because he was the best available bat on the bench.
Yeah, the Reds had a guy, I think he's in Texas now, Michael Lorenzen. Yeah, he was used. He was used as a pinch hitter and an outfielder by the Reds while he was here. Which doesn't happen often anymore, and that may change with everybody's going to want their own Ohtani now, but having a guy that you could pinch hit and play outfield defense and play on a professional level, that's because everybody said everybody makes a big deal out of guys that can play a bunch of positions. Well, when you can play something other than pitch, that's not too shabby.
Okay, the one I was talking about earlier, where the guy getting ejected, was Andre Dawson back in 1991.
Oh, okay.
He was ejected by Joe West, and chaos ensues at Wiggly. They kicked him out.
Joe West, yeah.
Yeah, and they were throwing garbage or throwing the cans on the field. He had to come sweep it out at least twice. And he went to dugout, and he started throwing the bats out of the dugout, and he's just giving an FU to the ump. And then the coach gets kicked out too. I'm like, where's this? I missed this, and I'm looking at these clips of baseball. They used to have we had the Yankees just had like a little. We were gonna stand up, but there was no fighting. There was no punch. I'm watching ones like when they had the home run, it was called a foul by but they're like it was incomplete. But the guy's like, I'm on third base. You're over there. How can you tell if it's a home run or not? This is back in 1883. I'm just laughing. I'm thinking like, so all teams come out. There's fighting. I was just like, the fans were pissed. They're booing on stuff. So it was like, dude, this is what I like. I like hockey when they fight. I like it when people tell the opposite, F off.
Yeah.
I learned something interesting today.
Yeah.
1978. Remember when the Yankees fired Billy Martin halfway through the season, and then Steinbrenner announced 3 days later that they were going to bring him back, not next year, but the year after that? Well, he made that announcement at the Yankees Old Timers game. Now I could see where Bob Lemon would be like, really? But you know who was pissed off about? You know who got the most pissed off about that announcement?
Who?
Joe DiMaggio. Because he was there and he goes, how dare you take the spotlight off of me? Because Joe loved him some Joe.
Oh yeah. Well, but, you know the one thing that he always insisted on wherever he went to make an appearance.
I'm sure I knew at one point, but
he always insisted that he be announced as the greatest living ball player.
Which was, no offense to Joe, never true. Top 5, always true.
Camille do you hear about Camille Brickhouse?
Camille? Yeah, she
at the con.
I don't care spoiling. You haven't watched Blood and Guts yet, but she finally makes her AEW appearance after however many months she's been on the shelf.
Yeah.
But what was her name wherever she was before that?
She was Camille.
Yeah, she was over NWA.
Okay.
She's Braun Strowman's ex-girlfriend.
Now they did, I said
she got those hands and other things.
Okay, if you I know one of the kind of unwritten rules about greatest living ball player was the players that were currently playing were exempt. Because they were still playing. But the minute the 1973 World Series ended, Joe DiMaggio was no longer the greatest living player. Because that was Willie Mays. And that lasted until about 3 weeks ago.
So you're saying Mays over Ted Williams?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Ted Williams might be the greatest pure hitter that ever lived.
Yeah.
But Willie Mays, much better base runner, much better defensively.
Yeah.
Ted Williams was not a good defensive player.
No.
He was a hitter. He would have been if there had been a DH and he hadn't had to go to war, he might have had 5,000 hits.
I never knew this, but
I was born in Boston, so I am partial to Ted, but facts be facts.
Speaking of facts, did you know that the Statue of Liberty was always green? It used to be gold.
No.
Over time, it changed colors.
I didn't know that.
It's disturbing. It was like a brass kind of like thing, but now it's not green.
Yeah, well, because I mean, brass ages and tarnishes and turns
or
green.
brass or something. But it was like I was just like, I saw a photo. I was like, what? People are showing photos of like Grand Canyon before they carved the president's heads in there and stuff. It's just like,
yeah. So Eric, I had to look it up, and I was remembering correctly. Yeah, Don Robinson was a lifetime 231 hitter, and hit 13 home runs over the course of 15 seasons as a pitcher.
Do you remember Don Newcomb?
Oh yeah. Oh, Don Newcomb is
1956.
Was the trivia one of the trivia answers to one of my favorite questions. Well, at the time, and I'm trying to think, somebody else has done this since. But he was the only player to win Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, and an MVP.
I believe it. In 1956, he hit 7 home runs and hit 356. And 2 years later, he was exiled to Cincinnati. I'd love to know how much and he had good year. He had a couple good years for the Reds.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what happened to him if he didn't want to be on the West Coast full time, because that was the year their first year out in LA. Yeah. But that's So were you on Team Ted for greatest living player?
Not always. I mean, I always preferred Ted Williams to Joe DiMaggio, but I think that's just because I probably, especially as a kid, I valued hitting more than necessarily defense.
I was more into Ted Knight.
Well, Ted, the difference between Ted and Joe was Ted had more power, but I think Joe probably could have hit more home runs if he'd been willing to sacrifice a little of the average. But yeah, I mean, there was, it's hard to argue that there was ever a better hitter than Ted Williams.
Yeah, I couldn't argue because I don't know that much.
And
Robin Allen's Mr. 3000.
Nobody would be quicker to tell you that he was the best hitter than Ted himself.
Yeah,
even more than Mr. 3000, Robin Yount.
Oh yes. If, like I said, Ted Williams, the only reason why Ted Williams isn't in the 3,000 hit club was he literally spent 3 years fighting in World War II. He was a pilot, and then 2 more in Korea. So he basically missed, 4 3/4 seasons of his career in the prime of his career. And he still finished with 521 homers. Here's a trivia question for you. Mm-hmm. Ted Williams was pinch hit for 1 time in his career. Can you name the immortal that pinch hit for him? Mm-hmm. Yes, if you've ever played baseball trivia, that's the only reason.
Wait. You said immortal, so it's General Mortis.
No, I mean that it was a stiff. Who I promise you, Ted was still a better hitter than.
No, it was probably what in when he was playing for the Senators.
No, he didn't play for the Senators.
He played for the Red Sox.
His last year was 1960. His last year.
Bobby
1960. Well, it's not going to be Tony Nicoliero.
No, like I said, if you haven't heard this as a trivia question, the guy's name was Carroll Hardy.
Okay.
And Ted's last at bat of his career, he had a homer. So I'm sure. So I don't know why he was pinch hit for. Maybe he was already on his 5th beer or something, because Boston in 1960, who gave a fuck. But
I was watching old videos of footage of Babe Ruth just hitting the baseball. They slowed it down to show how he hit it. I was like, it was actually interesting to watch him, especially those guys back in the day. Those first basically, I guess, celebrities, you call them, for baseball.
I mean, and I would say he's the 2nd greatest hitter of all time.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah. And I said, I'm not, not discounting it. I mean, Josh Gibson, guys like that. I mean, I have no.
Mark McGwire hit it further.
No. Not better than the 2 that we're talking about.
I just like Bo Jackson. He just broke the bat in half.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the thing was, I mean, with Bo, if he had been able to continue his baseball career, he still would have been very, very good. But I never would have considered him, one of the top hitters because he couldn't hit for average.
No,
probably not consistently enough.
He could have if Kevin Walker doesn't hit him, and he makes a decision, which he would have had to right around that time. You'll pick a lane. He could have been a Hall of Famer in either sport.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like Deion Sanders will never be confused with a Hall of Fame baseball player. Mm-hmm. Brian Jordan was not a Hall of Famer in either. Gene Conley,
I can't believe that Bo Jackson's not in the Hall of Fame or either one of those.
Well, he didn't play very long.
Yeah.
Dave DeBusschere,
not
borderline basketball Hall of Famer, but of all the two-sport athletes of the last 70 years, Bo was the best at the two sports.
What's the limit you have to be in order to be considered an eligible Hall of Fame?
You have to play at least 10 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's generally the rule of thumb unless there's extraordinary circumstances.
I don't think there's ever been one in baseball. I think the only thing they've ever done is waive the 5-year rule for Roberto Clemente. I don't know of anybody that didn't play 10 years.
Koufax made 10 years?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he started in 55, and basically the first 5 years of his career, because he played 12 years, first 5 or 6 years of his career, he was almost below average because he couldn't find the plate with directions. Somebody fixed him in 1961, and then from 62 through 66, he had the 5. No one's ever had a better 5-year stretch than Koufax, and that got him in the Hall. It was basically 5 of the 12 years. If you look at those early numbers, not anything to write home about by any stretch.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think I mean, like on the football side, Sayers didn't play 10 years.
Oh, football! I don't think they have that rule because the life or the career average is like 3.8 seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but I mean, also too. I mean, with baseball, they didn't officially put that 10-year rule in until recently. I mean, it was just kind of a general thing, beforehand. But
if you look at the list of Hall of Fame players, I don't think there's anybody that didn't play 10, even in the old timey days.
Yeah.
Because it's never come up where like no one's ever been tragically killed or died like after year 8 or 9 of a no-brainer Hall of Fame career. It's just never happened.
Well, they keep trying to get Thurman Munson in there.
Munson played. Was his plane crash 78 or 79?
78, I believe.
I might look that up. Because if it was 79, well, if it was 79, then he technically did play 10 years because I think he got a few at bats in 69.
Let's see.
And I don't know if
no, it was 79, August of 79.
Yeah. I don't know if
11 years. Yeah. Yeah, 11 years. Yeah, lifetime 292 hitter. Yeah, I mean he's got a borderline case.
At the risk of pissing off any Minnesotans in the chat, he's got a better case than Joe Mauer.
The minute you said that, I knew exactly where you were going.
Look, nice guy, but it's time to quote Skip Bayless. This isn't the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
why I know Tim Lincecum is not gonna, make the Hall anytime soon.
Well, Tim Lincecum shouldn't make the Hall.
Yeah,
he's not a Hall of Fame pitcher, but he could have been. But I don't know what derailed his career. I'm assuming injuries also.
Yeah, a little bit of injuries, and I mean the fact too. I mean, being a smaller statured pitcher, and again, he's one of these guys too that basically threw with maximum effort. I mean, it was one of those great things of watching. I mean, when he was really on his game and throwing that fastball, he was literally leaping towards the plate. The way he would, plant the back foot and then just almost kind of like jump forward and land that front foot.
It's hard to not be satisfied with winning 3 in 5 years. And everybody remembers Bumgarner, but they also had, remember Matt Cain?
Oh yeah, no, I was thinking. I mean, Matt, Cain, Lincecum. I mean, of course, Zito had that magical run in the second of the 3 World Series. Where he just sucked all year, sucked the previous year, and thinking, oh, this is a huge bust on this giant free agent contract they signed him to, and then
I really hope that
he lights out.
Every Giant, from the star player to the clubhouse attendant, everybody that has a 2012 World Series ring, I hope sends Dusty Baker annual Christmas cards. Because as a disgruntled Reds fan, that was the only year of the 21st century that they legitimately were good enough to win it all.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, they go out to San Francisco, lose their best pitcher, and still win the first 2.
Yeah.
Come back, all they have to do is win 1 at home. Bochy goes into Baker's office and apologizes to him for not showing up for the first 2 games, and then proceeds to bitch slap him 3 straight. And they went on to win it all. And like I said, I think the Reds legitimately could have won that year. And even with Cueto being out, because that year, their 5 starters made 161 of the starts.
Mm-hmm.
But they also had a guy, God, I can't remember his name now, but they could have slotted in there. But, I said Baker was just a clinic. Yeah, I like Dusty Baker. I'll be happy to, hope he's still coherent when he makes his Hall of Fame speech.
I like Dusty
because he'll go. And, but the difference is every team Dusty Baker has ever managed have been buyers. Every year he's been there. He's managed buyers. He presided over, the reason why nobody remembers how Baker collapsed in 2003 is Steve Bartman. As a Giant fan, you only have to go back 1 year. They were up in the 8th inning of Game 6, and he found a way to blow it.
You don't need to tell me twice about 2002.
He did it. He broke my heart in 2012. So he had epic fails in 3 rounds of playoffs. And
and not just that. You can also go back to 1993, which I still contend was probably going to be the last great pennant race of all time. Where you had a Giants team that won 102 games and was tied with the Atlanta Braves going into that final game, and Dusty Baker decides to throw Solomon Torres, an untested rookie, against the Dodgers, and watch it go away.
Baker was there for 10 years.
Yep.
Wow.
You want to hear?
Actually, I think 93 was his rookie season, because that would have
been 10 years.
Because the whole thing too, that 1993 season was so magical for the Giants because 12 months, 12 months prior, even 6 months prior, a lot of people thought the Giants were moving to St. Petersburg.
I remember that.
It was almost a done deal, and then basically the last second, the Peter McGowan group comes in, buys the Giants from Bob Lurie. At the same time, during the off season, the unthinkable happens, and signing Barry Bonds, the reigning MVP, to bring him home to San Francisco. And then it just goes off from there in this incredible season. With Burkett and Swift both winning 20 games. The awesome bullpen with Kevin Rogers, Mike Jackson setting up Rod Beck. I mean, God, it was such a Robbie Thompson's best season by far. Will Clark was awesome. Matt Williams. Obviously, you can tell me kind of go on.
Venk, you were trying to get in a word in edgewise there.
I was just going to bring up, I was looking at their sub count. We're 2 away from 666.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I know, right? Let's end right there. Like,
yeah, I'll say about the Giants in that era. I'm not going to say I don't chuckle when I think of that they won their 3 World Series post Bonds.
Yeah,
but I will also say, I think it's sometimes it's hard to take the Hall of Fame seriously when I see, I said Joe Mauer's in, and Jeff Kent can't get 10% of the fucking vote.
Yeah.
It's all perception. I mean, I said, I'm not gonna try to argue that Dave Concepcion was better than Ozzie Smith, but if he's Lonnie Smith, which you can't make a cool Wizard of Oz nickname out of, if he can't do a backflip or have that outgoing personality, he does not go in on the first ballot with one of the highest first ballot totals of all time.
Oh yeah,
Dave Concepcion can't. I mean, he gets negative votes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. The fact of the Wizard of Oz and being just one of the most liked players added at least 10% to his.
I would say more.
Hall of Fame total. Yeah. At the same time too, he also had huge moments at huge times. I mean, all right. But I mean that miracle home run against the Dodgers in the 82 NLCS. But yeah, no, the whole thing, one good thing about Mauer getting in means that Buster Posey should be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame.
And I don't want to start an argument, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer either. But he has 3 rings.
3 rings, MVP, Rookie of the Year.
He can make a better case than Joe.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, I happen to grow up watching the greatest catcher of all time, so it's hard. It's hard for me to compare, him to anybody. No one's going to measure up to Johnny Bench. I'm sorry, not even Ivan Rodriguez. So maybe he is a Hall of Famer, but I don't think I'm wrong about Joe Mauer because he played damn near half his career as a first baseman. He did not have Hall of Fame offensive numbers for a first baseman. And I think whether it's rewarding somebody for actually staying in one city in the era of free agency, he got a stadium built. That should count for something. Somebody had to take over because Justin Morneau couldn't stay healthy and ended up exiled to Colorado. But I just don't see a Hall of Famer when I see Joe Mauer. I mean, it's like I don't think Scott Rowland's a Hall of Famer. He was a Red the last time the Reds mattered. And he was great for the Cardinals and kind of a dick with the Phillies, but he grew up and became a team leader for 2 teams over multiple years. I mean, the Reds traded away a third baseman who ended up hitting 400 home runs after he left Cincinnati, and Edwin Encarnacion never regretted it for a second because the Reds don't win in 2010 with Encarnacion. They had Rowland. By 2012, it was Todd Frazier's time, and everybody knew it except Dusty Baker. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a Hall of Famer either. I mean, I'm sorry. War, Fabit, Wibbit, Babbity Bip, whatever those new numbers are that make guys, is that they'll tell you, well, according to this, Cecil Espy should be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Ted Williams should be not in the Hall of Fame. Because he has, his war wasn't. It's like, just get out of here with
it's
that.
It's a tool. It's not an end all be all.
Somebody needs to tell Major League Baseball that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting. I was looking at the comparison between Maurer and Posey, and I mean, so what's interesting is, I mean, Joe Mauer played 3 more seasons than Buster did, but despite that, Buster has played 100 more games at catcher than Maurer did.
I can be talked into Posey. I'm not coming off of Maurer.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, Maurer also had kind of a couple of the shiny stats, you know, lifetime 300 hitter. And you know, despite that, you know, technically the majority or half of his career was as a catcher. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting, kind of look at the numbers, because with that 3 fewer seasons, you know, if you go into the advanced numbers, Maurer has a higher WAR, but again, that's, you know, career number. But yeah, fun stuff. So yeah, I'll be curious to see what you think of Blood and Guts there. I watched most of it last night. I sped run through some of it. I thought a good MJF promo at the start.
I was gonna watch it, but I'm like, then we went for 4 hours. I'm like, I'm tired. I'm mowed the lawn, finished mowing the rest of the lawn today, and I was just like, get in that comfy zone where you guys just keep talking about sports, and I kind of start relaxing. Yeah, I mean, and I'm like,
otherwise, I mean, I kind of like just skip through the kind of the earlier matches. I mean, especially once, yeah, God, I love Minoru Suzuki, but watching him trade like 10 chops back and forth with Chris Jericho was just too much.
I want to watch the match. Thank you.
I couldn't. It's
now you know how we feel when Sheamus gets somebody tied up in the ropes and clubs him in the chest 10 times, yelling, "Fella!"
Well, at least they're not trading back and forth and basically no selling everything. You know, that one where you get the guy tied up.
WWE used to do that all the time.
Well, that was back then, but now since Sheamus doesn't win matches anymore, it obviously isn't very effective.
Yeah.
But you know what I liked about it, I haven't watched it, but apparently they only lost about 10,000 off of the week before, so they basically held the ratings, which is a good sign for them.
Yeah. You talking about Dynamite 250?
Yesterday was about 10,000 off of that, I think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was like close. It was like 798 to 788 or something like that. So it was close. So that's they need consistency.
I'll be curious to kind of look at what the splits were, because I mean, it was really interesting in terms of that first hour. Pretty much held the audience from that Ospreay MJF match, and then the minute. Well, now I say the minute, but when that was over and it switched to Jericho and stuff, boom, it dropped below 700,000.
Yeah, again, like I said, I don't know how accurate any of that stuff is. You can kind of use how you, but I did see where the collision I was bitching about for having nobody there, way up from the week before.
So how is that? So how do these numbers figure in the people who are watching it streaming like through Fight TV?
Yeah, that's the thing.
So the Nielsen stuff. You know, we're on a live stream. I haven't done Nielsen for many years, so I no problem sharing this, because I was actually a Nielsen viewer for about 2 years.
I like Nielsen. He does good movies.
Yeah, it was so great. I mean, literally, it was one day. I'm at home. This was again back in California. Phone rang, and actually, back when I had a landline, no less. And I was like, okay,Ll pick it up, because I again didn't normally, pick it up. And I was like, hello, is this Kevin? Blah blah blah.
Your name's Kevin? I had no idea.
Yeah, it's a shocker. Anyways,
I was wondering what the K was for L.
We're part of Nielsen rating system. We're interested, if you would like to be part of this. And I was like, yeah, this would be great. And so what they would send you, or sent me at least, was this little device that basically almost looked like an old-fashioned pager. and the idea was you just basically just carried this around with you, and the idea was that as long as you had it on your person, it could basically sense like your movement, or like your heartbeat or whatever, to let you know, okay, you're actively doing something. And then essentially any station network that participates in the Nielsen ratings, there is a hidden audio signal that is transmitted as part of the broadcast. And so it's that signal that would pick up on this little people meter, basically, that would register, how long, you watched stuff. And, generally they wanted you to, wear it or have it with you for at least like 8 hours a day. Type stuff.
Put on my dog's collar.
Yeah,
put on his kennel. TV.
I'm sure that people have done that in the past, but I mean, actually, you had an ID and a password to go into this, website, and so you could track and see, how many hours you collected and what have you. And there were things set up that, like if you were going to be traveling somewhere, so you couldn't have it necessarily with you, or you wouldn't be able to charge it up because there was a little charger that came with it. And there was also a little headphone thing too. That you could, there was like a double prong. So you'd plug that into one side, and then you would plug the other one kind of like into your headphones. So if you were, like listening to music, because it was both for radio and TV. But yeah, it was fun. And I think they give you a little stipend. I think it was like $10 a week or something, to do it. Yeah, it was great, and did it. Yeah, I want to say did it for almost 2 years. Yeah. So it's fun. I mean, especially, you're a weirdo TV watching person like I am. Yeah. And so it'd be times like, God, I'm trying to think of like one of the oddball sci-fi shows, that would be on. It's kind of like, ooh, am I the person that's keeping this show on the air?
Watching Farscape. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was fun to do that. I mean, that was before. It was also too before like streaming got really, really big. So, although,
you know what, you probably were keeping CSI on the air.
Sure, yeah, me representing CSI. Yeah,
there's one person. We're doing our job.
Yeah, there were a few more people watching CSI.
I see where the Mariners, I guess, got tired of losing 2-1 every day.
Oh,
so yeah.
Picked up a Rosarena.
Nothing.
Yeah, I was just wondering how they figure in, because people who buy into Fight TV, you can watch AEW, Ring of Honor, and all that stuff. Ring of Honor has their own website; you can watch stuff. But I mean, it's not aired on TV. But for Fight TV, I can watch Dynamite, Rampage, and all that stuff. And then, like, they say we're gonna go to picture, and because you're gonna go to commercial.
Yeah.
And Fight TV, they don't go to picture, and they still comment on the match. Mm-hmm. So it's like being actually at the actual, event, whether,
Well, no, so, being at the actual event is best because A, you don't have to listen to Excalibur. And then B, you also get the, you really get.
Well, for me, I like being at there, because I like listening to Renee, when she's on commentary, but she's not really in commentary like she was when she first joined AEW. Now she's kind of like just does what she did for WE, which I don't mind.
Yeah, as far as I know, she's just doing backstage interviews, and then she's also got a.
Oh, you know what it was? I was thinking
show or something with the RJ. Is it RJ
I was thinking I was
out of Canada too.
So I was thinking when I went to watch War Games, that's what it was.
Yeah,
the War Games, the last ones I watched at Chicago. She was there. So.
Okay. Well, have you seen the AEW stuff from San Diego Comic-Con today?
I saw a little bit of it. I didn't watch a lot of clips. You guys were talking about sports. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay.
I just saw that Camille Brickhouse and Mercedes Moné again, like getting in the face, and I was like, I don't care for Comic-Con, whatever. It's like everybody's like, oh, I got to see Comic-Con, and I'm like. I've already seen this list that's coming out. If they're going to announce something better than what's coming out for future comic books.
Well, they also had an area set up outside the convention center. I'm not sure where. Maybe it's like in Balboa Park or something. They put a ring up, and they're doing, like house show matches. That looked really goofy.
I remember when Mox would go.
They had people dressed up like Adult Swim cartoon characters.
There wasn't a Comic-Con, but I remember this watching John Mox. So when he used to come out to Dirty Deeds, he went to like some like indie thing and they recorded. I was just like, this is weird seeing Moxley going out to an indie thing. This is right after he like joined AEW for a while. They did have Dirty Deeds, they aired it, but then they stopped playing it because they just went back to where he's And I was just like, man, they should have kept with Dirty Deeds. That was great when they called it the Dirty Deeds, instead of calling whatever it is called now, the Impaler or whatever how you call it. But I was like, that's what I think too. I was like, going back and watching old clips. I've been watching old stuff of wrestling stuff, especially in the Attitude Era, and just seeing how effective everybody's like their final moves, like the super kick. That was like you were knocked out. Stunner, you're knocked out. Rock bottom, it's like no. Now it's like everybody's like, even WE was doing the kickouts too. And it was like, sweet. We were saying that. I was like, so it's like doesn't bother me when AEW does it too, because I remember watching was everybody was kicking out.
Well,
like
again,
they kick out. It's like you got to put.
Well, so for me, it comes down to a term that Robert Meyer Burnett uses, the verisimilitude. Basically, can you suspend your disbelief in terms of what's going? Does it make sense logically? And that was where I really appreciated a lot of the things in an MJF Ospreay match that you don't normally see. And I'll say in both WWE and AEW matches, and certainly indie matches, where you do get tired of this constant finisher kick out stuff. Was like Ospreay would hit a finisher type move, but because the shoulder hurt, his when he remembered to sell the knee, I think it was the left knee, but he would like fall off, and so it would take him time to crawl back to make the pin, or he couldn't hook it correctly because his shoulder hurt.
Do you know what I like though? He does.
Yeah,
MJF did that where he's like he puts his leg in front of the rope. I love that when people do that, because it's not used all the time.
Yeah, but again, it was that point where you could at least put it in your head of, okay, because Ospreay couldn't get that pin down immediately the way that you're supposed to. In my mind, I can accept that MJF had time to recover, to get his faculties and get that shoulder up before the count of 3. That's the little things for me, at least when I talk about like little things in wrestling. That's one of the kind of the big things for me, and that's where I do like when you do see guys hit 5 and 6 finishers and people pop up and no sell, and it makes no sense. It's easy to take you out.
What made me really quit WE, after one, it was like around 2018, like it was, is I just got sick of like, he's wrestling with an injured knee. Shut up, Michael Cole. No one likes you. I just got sick of Michael Cole more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
probably go back.
I'll tell you right now. I mean, you should at least go back and give it another look
there. But I don't care for this mommy thing. I don't care for Dominic trying to beat Eddie Guerrero. I'm just like, this is an insult to Eddie.
Then watch SmackDown. I've been loving it, and I was so sad.
The only thing that's good is I get to see Liv Morgan in those tight little shorts, jean shorts.
Oh yeah, and I was so sad when Dominic made Liv cry like that at the end.
What do you think they're doing there?
What the ultimate end game?
Well, yeah, because I mean, at some point, Rhea's the number one face,
right? Yeah, I mean, at some point, I mean, my initial thought was that Dom was going to turn against Rhea, so that would then make Rhea full on face, and Dom was going to go with Liv, or essentially, or possibly one idea I thought was that basically the rest of Judgment Day was going to turn on Rhea. And so, basically Liv would replace her. So it'd be like, Liv, Dom, Finn, and JD.
Because the way,
I think at some point too, they want to turn Damian Priest face as well.
But isn't Gunther starting to get a lot of face heat?
No, I wouldn't say face heat yet. I mean, again, people like him because of his stature and his presence in the ring. But I mean, he's still getting a healthy share of booze and stuff when he's doing a promo. So I can't see him turning face anytime soon. And
I think it should be Priest if it's
Priest.
as far as Liv goes, I thought she was acting like a heel going after, like she was going after Dominic.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's what they're saying.
There's no way she's going to be a face.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so if Dominic went with her and chose over Mommy, creating Mommy being a face, this would be so weird. Because Mommy, she's better as a heel to me. At least I've seen the clips I've seen.
Well, sometimes the crowd makes a decision for you. No, what epiphany did John Broome have?
Summoner.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I know that John Broome, wasn't he Doink the Clown?
He was the old Flash writer. We're back to comics.
Oh.
But you know I feel sorry for more than anybody in wrestling right
now. Wait, Drew McIntyre?
No.
Oh.
The woman married to Dom in real life because that good God, Ricky Morton goes up to Dom and says, "Son, that is a mullet." And and I'm sure part of Dom's thing is not to put on any kind of physique, because he's just supposed to look like some dirty, hood rat.
He looks like what was the Dudley third brother? Spike Dudley.
And he's like the nicest kid in the world. And he's been married, he's been with the woman he just married for over half their lives. I mean, this is 100%, obviously, he is, I give him credit. I know some of the booze were piped in to add to it, but he has done really good work considering, like I said, whoever made the decision to subvert expectations and make him a heel.
Yeah.
That was Kurt Angle level good thinking, because he would have never made it as a face, with his daddy there. The fans would not have allowed it.
I don't know what they would do, but man, if AEW started getting better, if they brought on Shane to help with the booking, Shane McMahon would be great. And then I would love to see Brody King and Rhea Ripley like in the same program,
Well, Brody's AEW, so that's not going to happen.
No, as I said, if she joined AEW and you had good booking, I would have to see her. I would have to see her at the House of Black.
Re-signed.
I mean, first off, hopefully at some point she'll come back. I mean, you can argue AEW's already got a person that could be their Rhea Ripley, and that's Ruby Soho.
Yeah, she's pregnant. It's gonna. I don't know if she had.
But I'm saying the only eventually Andrade went back probably to work in the same promotion as his wife. Buddy just re-upped. The only way that happens is if they don't want to be separated anymore, because she means too much to WWE. The only way I can see her leaving is literally to be with her husband. That's why I'm really kind of surprised that Levesque didn't swoop in and make Matthews an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah, or not? Is it Buddy Matthews or Brody King?
Buddy Matthews. Brody King is the guy that doesn't have an inch left to tat.
Actually, you know what I want back? I want Julia Hart to be back in wrestling again. She had a really good run when she was champion.
She's injured, I believe.
Most likely, yeah. Because I'm like, when they disappear for a while, they're injured. It's like,
well, some of them. There was an interesting video I watched. I think it was early this week, talking about 4 wrestlers in AEW that haven't been seen for well over 100 days, and what the
Nero is injured.
Well, Ricky Starks, Wardlow. Think about it. Wardlow hasn't been.
I thought Ricky Starks is going the WWE.
No.
Well, he could be, but he's not yet. He's still in the contract. Wardlow, who's been missing for almost four months now.
Yeah.
Miro, like you said. And
Jake Hager quit.
Jake Hager quit. And then the 4th one is Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, Sammy, I don't know what's up with that. I mean,
it's very simple. I think about it. When did he leave? Who came to AEW on a massive allegedly multi-million-dollar contract and called herself the CEO?
Oh, Monet, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you remember back, God, how many years ago was this now? 2+? When he got suspended for that time because those, he made those comments and they came out publicly, and those were about Sasha Banks.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, pretty much all the rumors is that either part of the deal or Tony didn't want to offend his Crystal Girl, and Sammy has not been seen or heard from since.
Unless he's taking a paid vacation.
Well, I'm sure it's a paid vacation.
If it came down to one or the other, I would say my vote would be bye-bye, CEO.
Yeah.
But what I think will happen is that Guevara will be back. There's something major in the works for Starks. Wardlow should go to WWE.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to have a feud with MJF. They're not going to have him turn face and do that because that's going to be Adam Cole, baby.
I'm just worried because, Wardlow...
Well, you're assuming that Adam Cole is going to ever be healthy again to come back.
Well, supposedly he's within a couple months. But Wardlow fits, let's be honest.
The big man, the Braun Strowman monster.
The WWE, profile. I said, I mean, I liked him fine in AEW, but he's a better fit. Because like I said, they do like him bigger. And
I did like him when he was CBS champ and him feuding with Joe.
Yeah, but like I said, he to quote the old Brady Bunch episode, he fits the suit. Like if Wardlow and what's his name tag team, Lucas Slower is if they make tag team they'd be like the Brothers of Destruction or they could do something like that. But that's like you said, if he goes to WE, I keep looking at Wardlow, but I think would they use him a lot because they already have 20 Wardlows over there?
Yeah. Well,
they don't anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned Luchasaurus. I forget. God, I can't remember what match it was from a week or two ago. But he was always billed as this huge monster, monster guy. And I forget who it was, but it was somebody else that you don't normally think of as a big person, and matched up next to him was God, he's not taller than this guy. He's a little bit wider, but he did not look like a monster next to this other guy, and it surprised me. And I can't remember what tag match it was. It wasn't this past week's Collision. It was another week before that. So I don't know who the patriarchy was matched with or whatever.
But they've been feuding with Swerve, at least trying to.
And also and House of Black. It was probably Brody King.
Probably Brody King.
No, it wasn't Brody. It wasn't Brody King. I definitely know that. It might have been Malachi Black, actually. Maybe it might have been him.
Well,
Malachi Black is short.
When you see him, he was always working with, Jack Perry, Christian,
Marco
Nick Young. That's. Oh, by the way, the Mariners didn't even have to give up a top 10 prospect for a Rosarena. That's how cheap the going rate is for outfielders now. So yeah, the 12 and the 22 prospect. Now, Rosarena's not hitting his weight at the moment, but
Yeah.
But God, I'd say it would be tough to be a Tampa Bay fan. I mean, I don't even know why they put names on the backs of the jerseys. Nobody's there long enough to learn any of them.
If I'm in Tampa Bay, I'm probably, like I said, I would like, you would lose the lack. It would be like, oh yeah, it's great, no, and then the lure after a while, you just be like, I don't want to like care to go. So like my brother, he moved down there to Tampa with his girlfriend, and he says he loves the area, but he's like, yeah, I've gone a couple games, you know, it's cool because he's a sports guy in the family. If he could, he would love to go to every single stadium in the United States if he could, you know, just he loves doing that. When he went down there, he got the tour of the stadium, the Buccaneers. He went down there, went, you know, through that stuff, was on the field taking photos and stuff. And I said it's a lot different when you're sweating your ass off watching a football game than it is versus up here where you're freezing your ass off.
The stadium is a dump.
Yeah,
and they're talking about building a new one. What they need to do is move, because if there's too many transitory people down there. I mean, there's not. I know they're not close to each other, but like I said, the Marlins have trouble drawing. The Rays never draw.
It's
other
to me,
than when Yankee and Red Sox fans.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like you have too many blockbusters down the road from each other, and they all go under because there's too much competition.
Well, it's more like putting a bunch of ham restaurants in a Jewish neighborhood. There's just not so much interest to go around. So
great, I don't want food.
I just don't see because they have no budget, and they're over 500 again. They just traded their maybe not this year, but their best hitter.
Meatwad, Uncle T Hunger Force.
Yeah, one of the matches was Meatwad and Fang versus Johnny and Tanya. So if you wanted to know how far Johnny Morrison has fallen, he's doing basically house show matches at San Diego Comic-Con.
Last time I saw him, he was at Ring of Honor going against Dalton Castle.
Now, does he freelance for AEW, or is he on there, or is this an AEW thing that he's doing here?
He might be freelance.
I have no idea. I mean, he's popped up every now and then, so I don't know if he's all elite full time or not.
Because remember, he was just doing the segments. Remember, for whatever that was, TV thing.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Taya came out. Well, I know she was in that Lumberjane scrum on whichever show that was.
That was Saturday Collision.
Was that Saturday? Okay.
Which I did not watch because I'm like, I kind of want to watch that. I'm like looking at Collision. I'm like, it tells me the match card. I'm like, okay, they had Deanna Perosa. Like, chances are they're gonna have her win.
Yeah, I have no idea who Rachel from YOLO is, and Mr. Frog. They wrestled Orange Cassidy and Willow.
I'm gonna say this though. This is your WE creative character wrestler.
Oh yeah, totally. So,
but
then
it fits Orange Cassidy because Orange Cassidy basically he is built on comedy wrestling stuff. You know, he's not your typical wrestler.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He probably didn't. You know what? Okay, he probably didn't even care.
No.
Whatever.
Probably didn't take.
I have less issue with this because, as I say, this is basically a house show. It's not supposed to be televised or anything like that.
No.
And anyways, the final was the wrestlers against each other. So.
Well, we know how unimportant house shows are because when someone dared to mention that Solo lost 37 house shows in a row, holy fuck did the WWE fans just go ape shit.
Oh, I didn't even hear about this.
Oh yeah, they're talking about because he comes back the head of the table. 0-37 in his last 36 because he literally spent a year losing it. It was probably more than that. And someone said, "Oh, so now you AEW fans are going to bring house shows into it?" Yeah, they exist, but yeah, it's like really, it's like because I promise you, if somebody at AEW had lost 37 house shows, and then suddenly was like the big cheese, WWE fans would do the exact same thing.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
the point is nobody cares because
No,
you pay your money, you go see your show, and everybody's at least the people that are being told that they love the Samoans. I just don't happen to be among them. I don't care about the Wyatt Six either.
So see, the way you feel about those characters, the same way I feel about Bailey.
Oh, Bailey!
God. Bailey is like, remember? Put your hands in the air, hugs, and so hug Bailey.
Well, yeah,
now she's like,
that's what made it so great when she turned heel.
Yeah, I mean that was really effective, and I mean I thought at one point that she was going to become the female John Cena, in the sense of because that character was so loved by young girls.
Yeah.
She was going to be hitting that Make-A-Wish circuit and doing all those, face promo things that, and all the charity work that John Cena did. And I think she still, obviously, I think she still does stuff, but I love the hugger character. I thought it was great.
So my point is because she was based on that, she went the heel turn, and I just couldn't take. She still had her hair in the little thing on the side. I couldn't take it.
She's got kind of the shaved side now, but she's
Dakota Kai and the rest of
her group turned on her, so she's
which I loved.
More or less a face now, which more or less works. I mean, I would still love at some point to see a return to the hugger Bailey, but I don't know if we'll ever get that.
No, because I love it's what her name is. Akira or her hero. She's the one that does the pirate thing, the wagon, the ship wheel.
Oh, Kari Sane.
Kari Sane, and then there's another one. She's like in that little group that she got kicked out of. The whole group.
There was Io Sky.
That's what it is. Io Sky. I can't remember what the name is. I said I like watching both those two like this. They're fun to watch, and then you have Dakota Kai being in there. Dakota Kai, I still remember her when she turned on Rhea Ripley. Or no, wait, no, it wasn't Rhea Ripley. Was it it was at the NXT War Games where she just smashed she hurt somebody's arm. And they had to let Rigo had to come running out, and it's like oh my gosh, and then she was supposed to be on the good team, but she turned heel. I think I think that was when Rhea Ripley was a face at the time. But I mean, that was NXT I watched. I remember that was 2015, 2000 or 2017 or somewhere around there. But I was like, dang, I was like. Ever since then, I've just been a fan of Dakota Kai. I want to see her get to title reign and all that stuff. But so another thing, did they ever fix their problem with the tag team thing? It got the point where it just felt like there was 3 teams. That was it for the women's tag team.
You're talking the women's tag teams?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fixed right now. I mean, your current tag champs are Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville came back finally and is no longer
she's a manager, right?
An assistant GM or anything like that. That basically the 3 of them are running together, and you basically gone full on heel. Oh, that's right. Well, so they've got one of the women's tag titles. That's right. The other tag titles are still on the 2 gals that won it at Clash in the Castle. Whose names I'm blanking on right now.
Chelsea Green?
No, not Chelsea Green. No, One of them's Scottish, and the other one's either English or Australian. I can't remember.
Do you follow Matt Cardona, her husband, Chelsea Green's husband?
No.
When she won the Take Two championship, she's like, I'm a quarter champion, all right. This joke's around. That guy, Mr. Woo Woo, he basically he turned himself into a very much popular wrestler outside of WWE after they let him go.
Zack Ryder?
Zack Ryder, yeah, he's Matt Cardona.
Oh, okay.
He's it was a couple of months ago.
Cardona. Okay,
yeah, sorry.
Saying Macrodone or something like that.
No, Matt Cardona. I have a lot of respect for that guy. He came over. He used to be one of the Edge heads. Came over to AEW back when Edge had the title before he earned himself at their match. I love their match. That was great. But I love the fact that Matt Cardona is just he teases should I come back to WWE? He's like, nah. And he's like,
yeah. Well, I guess he was backstage at TNA Slammiversary or something. So
yeah, he's also been at the WWE. He's been at the events back watching stuff.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: do you think that Joe Hendry is going to work on a main roster?
I don't know.
Yeah, because I
don't even know who he is.
Oh, say his name and he appears.
So some snarkmeister called him Danhausen without the makeup.
That's unfair. First off, Joe Hendry can actually wrestle, so
well, could Danhausen once upon a time. How did he get to where he was?
Really.
So he does do wrestling. He's just in AEW. They really didn't have him do any much wrestling at all.
I hated that guy.
He's so small and thin. I mean,
but his wife is hot.
No, Danhausen can never wrestle.
He wrestled indie stuff. Is this AEW? They really just had him as the chaperone or as I
couldn't stand that character. Not that a skinny guy can't go over because Darby Allin's done pretty well for himself.
Darby Allin needs to lose that pink coat.
But Danhausen.
Yeah, let's see. We're this late. Do you share a YouTube video? Oh, come on. You think
we're not monetized, so we'll find out.
A copyright strike? Let me see if this will play because I have no idea how the audio stuff here works. So
he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah. So can you hear that?
I can hear it, but don't play it too much of it. Yeah, because
yeah. So he's got this, kind of. I guess he kind of called it a little bit of a Playboy gimmick, but I mean, crowds just go absolutely.
Oh yeah. Also, we're on I Love Comics. Remember?
Oh, we are. Okay. Well,
yeah. So I would.
Well, it's a couple seconds here and there, but yeah.
And Canada and Mexico.
Yeah. And so, I mean, he did all this and basically came up with this entire thing. I think he's Australian. Here he is. Rocking out on the guitar.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, you see it, in an arena, and especially the fact that he's been going back and forth between NXT and TNA. Everybody's
I believe in.
When he's going, full time.
I believe.
You know what they should do? They should bring back Rick Boog and have him play guitar for Shinsuke again. And as Shinsuke is coming out, have Hendry just break the guitar over his head and take over.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. There is a video, and it's on YouTube. I think it actually might be under Joe Hendry's YouTube channel. He did an indie match not too long ago with Elias. And it's funny because Elias is in the ring. He starts playing. He goes, I'm hearing that somebody's been stealing my gimmick, kind of thing. And then suddenly, Joe Hendry's, theme hits, and Elias, flicks around all pissed off, and Hendry comes out.
What promotion was this?
I'm not sure. I don't think it was like GCW. It certainly wasn't TNA. It was some indie.
Yeah, I was forgetting about GCW. That's like so obscure.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for guys that at one point were really big and the biggest promotion in the world, and it's got to be tough for them too. Like I said, when you're performing in a room where you can see the basket because you're in a high school gym or something like that. It's like because you think about it, a couple of years ago, he was getting major segments on the biggest show in the world. Raw.
Oh yeah, no. At one point in time, I wanted that Elias World Tour T-shirt because it was such a cool looking T-shirt.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I kind of hope. Like I said, I didn't want AEW to sign him, but I do want him to sign the guy that plays Jinder Mahal because he wants to be a face. I think it's never been really tried.
Jinder, he just showed up. I think he just made his first indie appearance in GCW, as a matter of fact.
I know the non-complete.
I think it was Cultaholic or something.
But
I mean, I'd love to see Dolph Lundgren because his brother is currently AEW.
He was on Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah,
he was.
TNA World Champion.
Whatever Jinder Mahal's name is, he was actually a regular on one of those like on Netflix show. He was in like 10 of the 12 episodes in a season or something, but I can't remember it. I'm sure it'd be easy enough to because you can IMDb him now. It's 1:30. I think I'm heading.
I was waiting for this. I'm like, this is 4.5 hours for the best of the week.
Oh wow. Well, you get me on here and you start talking wrestling and baseball. And
did you see my ticker before? I said, we
have
an hour of baseball.
For the love of God, get me out of here.
It's like I know a little bit, and then you guys are just going like they're really far into the ocean. I can't see them anymore. The ship's gone. Look at the binoculars.
Yeah. But if you didn't see Nick Nemeth there won the TNA World Championship at Slammiversary.
Nice.
So
has he ever won a world championship in the WWE?
He had
yes. The Intercontinental, I thought.
He was one of those kind of snake bit guys where I remember specifically he didn't win the main one. So at the time, the world title or the SmackDown title, I forget what the hell they called it at that point. And then he got hurt like a week later and had to, drop the title because he was out like 6 months or something.
He's in Judgment Day now. Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn Balor, man, used to be like the big thing, and now
same thing happened to him. He won the title and then got hurt and was out for half a year.
Yeah, and
by that time,
a couple times. But I mean, the thing is, he's got a good run going with the Judgment Day here. I mean, they recently he and JD McDonough recently won the tag titles back.
Yeah, so but in all honesty, and I'm listen, this is no AEW bias like that. He's more comic relief at this point. For a guy that won, I mean, when he first came out as the Demon, holy shit!
Oh,
and then, when he won the championship, I think because it went against everything that dirty old fuck stands for, and injuries derailed it because then Vince had time to think about it and said, "Oh no, I won't make that mistake again." And he never got a sniff of it after
the next time I see him with the Demon versus the Fiend, and I was just like, where is Umaga? Where is the witch doctor? The guy eats the worms. And
as a boogeyman. Well, Umaga is, or as Lord Regal called him, Umanga is tag teaming with Bray Wyatt upstairs.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's eating worms.
Lord Alfred Hayes, yeah.
No,
welcome to Titan Entertainment. And
I'm surprised people haven't complained about blood and guts. God, Beast, like it's just war games. It's two rings put together.
By the way, that was a pretty good Lord Asshole Hayes you just did. Because that's what we used to call him. Because remember when he turned heel?
Yeah. Oh well, vaguely, but it's so funny. There's a wrestling YouTube channel that I listen to, and they start the live stream with the old, Titan Entertainment theme from the VHS cassettes. And it's just like, oh my God, it's just, take me back to the 1980s of going to the video store and finding whatever the latest WWE compilation tape was, the best of Hulk Hogan or the best of Roddy Piper, or, slams and what have you. And I was like, oh my God, this is too good.
Back then, I had the WCW or NWO, whichever one it was at the time, because we actually got to see a lot of the WWF stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They had the Saturday night show and whatnot. And wait a second, I'm doing it again. Say it. Take us out of here, VENKMAN. If I'm not careful, it will.
Yeah.
All right.
We can reminisce about 80s wrestling another time.
If you had this live stream going for 4 hours and 35 minutes,
you lost.
Holy crap. We haven't had this much conversation on a Thursday in a while. LK's been deprived for a week of talking.
Yeah.
He's been sick, so it's like he's like, and I get to talk about baseball and wrestling. This is the best night ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Thank you all who were here tonight. There's been so many people that popped in here. It's I'd be here for another 40 minutes reading off your names. But thank you all. I think one of them was like something Sledhead. Sledhead, that's what it was. Yeah,
that was yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. For me, now it is yesterday. For me now, it's 12:39.
Yeah,
yeah. So, but thank you guys for all being here. And if you've been watching this on I Love Comics, you should be watching on the Geeky Puppet Show instead. Always go here. When you see me in this corner here in this background, and it's streaming I Love Comics, jump to the Geeky Puppet Show because we're most likely streaming, and he's just just branching off. But that being said, though, if you like comic books, talking about comic books, and just watching people have fun reading comic books, and just talking about sports or wrestling, whatever, just subscribe here. Leave a like. My throat felt like I smoked a carton over the last couple weeks. Hey, what's up? I Love Comics. Crappy's here.
Oh, that's weird. I saw my icon there in the chat, so I thought would put my icon in there. It did it twice.
Oh,
that's weird.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, it posted it on.
Oh, I see. It says, comments will be posted to multiple channels.
Okay, because I'm sure he's still watching Deadpool.
Oh, I thought that was okay. I was just saying, I was just like, that's E over there?
Good God, and you're treating this like Homer Simpson just seeing a donut. Can we go, please?
I let you have your time talking for 2 hours of sports night.
And you're gonna go, golly gee whiz, my name's I Love Comics now.
Yes, I will. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.